this is what we're looking at. I mean, it's all right.
So Rachel, if you go back to their site, what are some of the things that we might suggest to them beyond this report? Just giving them static numbers. What are some things that might help here?
What is your specific offer? Why should somebody go with you as opposed to going on Zillow and finding some other place to live? Anyways.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And you mentioned it, even a simple chat bot. In YouTube land, don't forget to like and subscribe. Smash that notification button so you always know when we post our latest podcast. Boom!
Oh! Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode quattro of the Late Night eComm podcast. You may have seen my stream earlier today. Today, we're going to be covering more in depth about website conversions. I've got my main man, Thad, over here.
How are you, Rachel? It's good to see you again. It feels like, gosh, it's been forever since I've seen you. Like what, a week?
You can't keep saying that.
Wait, I used that one already, didn't I? Damn it. I got to come up with new material.
We're already rusty and it's episode 4.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh. Yes. It's been a week, hasn't it?
Time flies when you're having fun, Rachel.
Yes, it does. Yeah. So tonight we're going to be going a little bit into the websites. I've got an audit of a site that I'm going to pull up for you guys. And we're just going to tear it apart. So this is kind of behind the scenes. Hope you guys can all see this, of a business report that we pull for a client. Now, this is one that my agency does. We go over all kinds of different metrics here and different things. So it's not always websites. We've got their social media, reviews, listings, overall scores. Now, we're going to be looking at website. And I'll pull up the website too, so you guys can see it. So this doesn't seem like all kinds of crazy, weird words to you.
So these guys are hurting on their site. And I can see right when we pull it up, it doesn't look visually like first appearance, doesn't look like a terrible site, but boy, that report sure does not look good, Rachel.
Yeah, no, it does not. So just so everybody can kind of get a sense of what this looks like when you pull up the site, this is what we're looking at. Because sometimes when you look at numbers, it might not make sense. At least for me, I'm a visual person. So this is the site we're looking at. So we know where we're getting this data from. These are the different pages. This company is a company that manages and rents properties. Okay. So their goal, of course, is to get people to rent from them. Right. So this is kind of what we're working with here. Contact, of course, you got your residence tab, toilet's not working, pay me, basic stuff. Okay, great. Great. Now we know what's going on and we can look at this report here. So the first thing I kind of wanted to go into is these two scores here, the D and the B. What the heck does that mean? Okay, so it's grading out of A, B, C, D, E, F, which means you failed, of course.
The dreaded F.
F. F. And excuse me, that was my cat.
This is the show mascot Monty. Yet to make an appearance tonight.
She hasn't made an appearance, but you can hear her. So mobile is showing a D. Why is it showing a D? Well, that means, let's see, maybe I could show you guys on the screen. If I were to pull up her site on my phone, it's going to look horrible. And it's not going to work very well, basically. We're going to be just completely honest here, I'm from New York, this is what we do.
So this is an actual client, or are you doing an audit for a potential client here?
Potential.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So she decided she wasn't looking to get her website all sorted out, and that's fine. Totally understandable. Last I talked to her, she had 30 people moving out in that month. So completely
Wow.
understand it. Yeah. So let's see if somebody goes onto her site. Let's see what we're looking like here. I don't even know. Wonder if I stop this share real quick. This is what we're looking at. I mean, it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not great. Got the logo, page. Let's see, menu. Go back to home. Is this backwards for everybody? Well,
No,
anyway.
at least on my, no, I think you're good. I think you're good.
Okay, it's just backwards for me. Great. So, I mean, you can see, I mean, it looks all right, but there's still a lot going on. Things are a little too big. It's not very clear. There's too much space going on up here for people to really understand what the heck they're looking at or they're looking for. If your main goal is to show people your properties, your apartments, you know, this just ain't gonna work, right? Okay, so let me go back to share my screen so we can kind of understand what we're looking at again back at the numbers here. What do all these words mean? First content paintful, speed index, largest content paintful, time to interactive, and then all these numbers. These are the seconds it's taking to load for all of these things. Now, if none of these words make sense to you, that's fine. They probably only make sense to a web developer. But basically what it's telling you is your site is not optimized for mobile in this section right here. It's telling you what you should fix and what you should consider fixing to make it load faster, and how you should format it basically to make it load faster. So the way that the content is structured and formatted is causing the site to load slower. And that's a problem. Why is that a problem? Well, people leave your site if your site is loading slowly. People don't have patience to stay in your site. And that's called a bounce rate. People go to your site and then they just quickly leave. So that's a metric to be looking at, is how long does it actually take for your website to load? And if it's, you know, giving you all these things that you can fix, well, there's areas you can improve to make your content actually load quicker so people stay on your site.
And you know, Rachel, that's something that you can see in your metrics of your ad sets as well, right? The difference between page views and view content. So you can really start to measure this in a lot of ways. And if people, like you mentioned, are bouncing off your site, they're not going to be buying, right? So that's going to lower your conversion rate, which is going to hurt your sales, which is going to hurt your cost per acquisition. I mean, you can see the waterfall effect of all these negative impacts on your site.
Absolutely. And I just pulled it up. Well, this is, let's see, this is from 2017. But it's, you know, 13% of people after 3 seconds bounce from your site, which, you know, it's kind of crazy.
No bueno.
No bueno. And it goes up kind of exponentially from there pretty quickly. But, you know, 2 seconds is 9%, and then 3 seconds is 13%. So once, you can only imagine once you start getting to the 4s and the 5%, how many people are actually leaving your site, how much money is being left on the table. So I just want to make it very clear, when you build a site, you want people to buy stuff from, you want your site to be working really well before you start driving all kinds of traffic to it, because you don't want to drive traffic to a place people aren't going to buy from or are unable to buy from. Super important. And here on the desktop, got a slightly better score. It's optimized a little bit better, and it obviously looks a little bit better on desktop because whoever created this created it with the desktop more in mind. But you know, it's still not great. Okay, so it kind of goes through the same things. It gives a speed index, and it tells you kind of how to format, what you're looking at here. And this is something, I mean, at least with my agency, that we provide these reports for you for free, just in talking to us. So if you talk to us and you are just wondering what the heck you want to do and you don't know what's wrong, you've been running ads and you're like, I can't figure out what the heck's going on, we give free strategy just talking to us so that you know where you need to go from here. So that's super important.
So Rachel, if you go back to their site, what are some of the things that we might suggest to them beyond this report? Just giving them static numbers. What are some things that might help here?
Absolutely, yeah. So the first thing you'd want to do on the homepage is have a unique selling. You'd want to have a USP right here instead of just this large header. So USP. All right. That is your unique selling proposition, right? Why is your business better? What are you really good at? What is your specific offer? Why should somebody go with you as opposed to going on Zillow and finding some other place to live? What makes your management company better? We are like, our maintenance team gets back to you in 20 minutes or less. We've got granite countertops, we've got marble countertops, we've got the best marble countertops, we have the best amenities and the quickest maintenance staff in the entire 585 area code. We have the most affordable luxury apartment complexes in the 585 area, something like that. It's basically saying why you're better, than the competition. So just custom designed apartments, it's kind of just like, it doesn't really mean anything. And when you're creating a website, you kind of want it to be conversational. So imagine you're having a conversation with somebody and you walk up to somebody at the bar, right? You're trying to see if they need a place to live. Maybe not at the bar. Maybe you're okay. Let's say you're at Starbucks and you're just like, hey, custom designed apartments. I mean, it doesn't make any sense,
It doesn't. It's not a conversation starter, is it?
You're just like, okay, and what? I don't care. Why would I keep talking to you, weirdo? Right? So think about that as you're reading through websites. The websites that make sense to you are the ones that are kind of talking to you like it's a conversation. Even like chat bots, they're like, hey, what are you looking for? And it's not a person, but you still there's a small party that feels acknowledged. What am I looking for? I'm looking for taquitos. I mean, I don't know. It's just, we like to have conversations because we're human beings. I don't know. Groundbreaking. All right. So as you can see, this is not conversational at all.
It's also disconcerting that the header is transparent and that we're seeing the text, roll behind it. It's one thing to have imagery that kind of rolls behind it, but it definitely looks messy, I would say, in terms of design as the text rolls up through the header. But more to your point, Rachel, it definitely needs some help, like custom design apartments, modern living throughout the Rochester area. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Do I tell you I like these apartments over here and you're going to go in and put all of the decoration in it and hang pictures on the wall for me? Are you going to remodel it for me? I have no idea what's going on here.
Yes, it's very unclear what they actually do. So in the header right away, you want to have your USP and you want to say, this is what we do this for these people. Call out your audience. Okay. We have we have the best luxury apartments in the 585 area with the quickest maintenance response. I don't know if that's true. Okay, I'm just coming up with something. How do we do this? We do this by, I don't know, paying our maintenance staff fairly, by installing those awesome marble countertops that you want in an area that doesn't need marble countertops. And we, like, yeah. So explaining how you do it, also very important. So people kind of get a step-by-step, break it down to them really simply, what the heck is going on, who the heck is this for, and why they should care. Because otherwise they're going to come to this, they're not going to know if you do remodeling. What are you, somebody that like designs apartments before you sell them? Like, this is really unclear. Nobody really knows what the heck is actually going on. So, and if you came here looking to buy some, like looking to rent, that is not on the first page. Yes, I have lots of questions. Oh, great. Yeah, get back to me. Never. Thanks. I mean, so we've all seen this. Don't do this. Nobody, we know no one's getting back to us. Anyways.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And you mentioned it, even a simple chat bot, you mentioned that earlier, would do wonders here. But certainly even for a few hours a day, a staffed chat app where someone can click and connect directly to you to say, I'm interested in a custom apartment. You know, what do I get? Or whatever question they might have. This would do wonders for this business. And here's another, this is odd. You know, I'm not from Rochester, but some of these pictures look like single family dwellings, not like apartments to me. Maybe they're renting out a room or something, but
I'm from Rochester. So if you live in Rochester, this is the norm. It's a lot of the old homes are actually basically when all these 1800s, you know, millionaires had these homes, they were once single family where they had the staff living inside and all their children. People cannot afford that anymore. This is my hometown, by the way, Rochester. And so people rent out. They've all been converted into rentable units. So sometimes the bottom is rented out. They're usually like kind of renovated, and they'll have like a place where, you know, they'll have rooms, and then they'll have a living room area and stuff. But a lot of it's like this weird kind of like 1800s, 1900s thing going on. So if you're from Rochester, you understand that's what's going on.
Got it. I didn't mean to be, you know, negative about your hometown. I just meant
no,
like,
it's just facts.
Yeah, we can visually tell the story a little better here, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I mean, if you're just looking at, right, if that you're right though, if you're looking for an apartment, who cares about the outside? I want to know what my crib on the inside is going to look like. What's my room going to look like? Do I have luxury vinyl planking? You know,
especially if they're saying custom designed apartments, like show me what's custom. What are you designing here?
Right. This doesn't look custom design. This looks like something from the Blues Clues, you know? So, I mean, right. Creating experience. I mean, it feels like it's just kind of like a lot of filler text from 2005. So what you'd want to do here is say, we're creating a penthouse living experience by, let's see, creating an environment by only buying things from Restoration Hardware. I don't know. I'm just thinking. This is just off the cuff. But
so it's interesting. You know, you mentioned earlier, and I keep thinking back to this, that they just had 30 tenants move out. This is the perfect time to do a refresh for them because they need to get people in. They need clients.
absolutely.
And you know, you could really help them here. So this is definitely a situation where providing a lot of benefit and value to a client in the face of losing customers can be an angle that you can take as an agency to say, look, we're here to help you. We're not here to just take your money. We understand you just lost a lot of customers, a lot of clients, a lot of leads. Let's help you get those back. Let's help you convert those. Because a site like this, clearly, it's clear that they have a mission. They want to help people feel comfortable in their homes, not just a place to live, but a place to be. And, they want it to be something special. And we have that same mission too. We want to help our clients. We want to help them deliver value to their clients as well. So it's kind of interesting, this whole concept. This entire concept of a custom design apartment is new to me.
It's new to me as well. And it's not explained very clear on here. So it's like, what is a custom design apartment? Maybe. Excuse me, everyone. I have COVID. We're social distancing over here. That wasn't a joke. I actually do have COVID. It's like, well, okay, what is custom design? Now, again, guys, I'm from Rochester, New York. Rochester, New York is it's a Rust Belt city. Okay, so this is a nice apartment. All right, I'm just gonna be honest. This is a nice apartment. It's a Rust Belt city. Just no hate, okay. But right, what's custom about this? Where's the custom part come in? Is it if I want to rent out a place, do you guys design it for me? Do you guys put in new furniture or something? When does new furniture come with the apartment? I don't know. So I'm just not sure what's different from this thing going on Zillow, and if that's the unique differentiator is that it's a custom apartment. Well, what's custom about this? I'm not really sure.
I'm not really sure either, but I'm looking at these prices and, I'm thinking of moving to Rochester. I saw an 1,800 square foot place for $1,200 a month.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. Before I was living here, I was living in 375 square feet for $575 a month.
Wow.
And it was a cute, quaint little safe place. And I was living there with a boyfriend. So it was half that. I was have a great time living there, really cheap. And you would think in New York, it's not that cheap, but those Rust Belt cities, they are cheap. Rochester is very, very cheap. So if you guys want to get into real estate, you don't have a lot of capital, go to Rochester.
And what's interesting too is that 1,800 square foot place, and even the one below it that was 1,100 square feet, only one bathroom in a giant home. I mean, 1,800 square feet is bigger. It's almost 1,900 square feet is bigger than a lot of homes in the Southern California area that were built in the 70s. And I get when this was built, but still, to only have one bathroom in a place that big is unusual. I wonder if that's something that the custom designers can help us with, and they could design a closet out of, or a bathroom out of a closet or something.
Maybe that's what they do, actually. Well, anyways, so you guys get the gist. This is kind of how we break it down. I know I kind of tore this thing apart, but I kind of wanted to go into some of the aspects of design that go into a website and kind of break it down on the front end, almost like what's going on besides looking at that stuff on the back end, because I think it can get easy to be lost in it. Basically, all you need to know is that when you have somebody design something for you, if you're designing it for yourself, it needs to load fast so people don't leave. Okay, and you need to tell people. And you need to tell the audience that you are specifically calling out who needs this, okay? Why what you do is different and how you do those different things. Like, what is your specific USP? What are you specifically selling that's different that you are selling to people? You need to know that. So when people land on your site, Thad was just exposed to this site. I actually know this person. But he didn't know what the heck this site was about. And you wouldn't either if you just landed on it. So really important that you're very clear when you're creating your site exactly what it is, so people don't leave. I think that's very important.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Rachel. And it's difficult to get this concept across to people sometimes. Clients think that, if you build it, they will come. All you got to do is get on the internet and, get a web page up. It doesn't matter what it is, just throw it up there and people will show up and buy from you or rent from you or whatever the purpose of your site is. The reality is that just isn't true. And you started at the top of that about bounce rates. It's so critical, especially in the eComm world where, time is money. People are, they have short attention spans. They're on to the next thing. They see your ad, they click it because they want to spend that money right now. And if they can't do it quickly, they're gone. Their attention's already somewhere else. So whether you're renting an apartment or selling a widget, the concept is the same. You've got to get people to stay on your site long enough to convert. And then we can worry about conversion rates down the funnel.
Mm-hmm. I think you're absolutely right, Thad. And for people who just want to slap up a site, just throw it out there. A lot of people who are from the brick and mortar world who are now going into e-commerce and selling online, they think, well, it's just my digital business card. So I just need to let them know that I exist and throw it on there. I'm like, well, you know what people do with business cards, right? They throw them in the garbage. Do you know what I do with business cards? I throw them in the trash. Do you know anyone with a Rolodex? I mean, I don't. I personally don't. I actually have a Rolodex and it's to hold my phone up. It's like, it's a Rolodex card holder and I use it for my phone.
I can attest to that. I've seen it. I've used it. You let me use it, as a matter of fact.
Yes. Yeah, it's a business card holder that I use for my phone. And I tell people, do not give me your business card. I'll take a picture of it. They're like, no, take it. I will throw it away. My business is called Digital Do or Die for a reason. You're dead to me. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. That escalated quickly.
Wow. Must have been a rough week or something. But yeah, no, it's only Monday. I'm kidding. But yeah, all I'm trying to say is that you have to be very clear about what you're trying to do with your site, and to think that if you just throw together some like shanty site, maybe that would have worked in the early 2000s. It does not work anymore. It might have worked in 2010. It might have worked in 2012 even. It doesn't work anymore. So it's really important. It's really important nowadays to make sure that your site is actually usable, and that you're dumbing it down and just thinking, if I am a consumer, just being super, super basic, like making it as easy as possible for me to buy something, like Amazon, boop, one click. Think about it like that. That's the easiest way I can kind of describe it. It's just make it as easy as possible for people to buy things from you.
Yeah, we use the term reducing friction, right? That's
Yes.
what we want to do. Friction causes people to stop buying. It stops them in the process. And so all of these things that we've talked about tonight can reduce friction. And we haven't even begun to touch on things like SEO, actual conversion rate optimization on a sales page. There's lots of things we can do beyond this. And this site just proves that it's a multi-step process. It starts visually. It starts with your value proposition and your USP. And it just goes from there. And those are things that, it's important that we as agency owners talk about with our prospective clients and our existing clients, because our campaigns and their success depend on this. We can send all kinds of really, really hot traffic of people that are dying to rent in Rochester. They get to that website and they're not going to rent. So that makes our campaigns look bad. That means that our clients are spending money that's not returning value to them. It's just not a good process all the way around. So I'm really glad that we chose to do this tonight, because it is so important, Rachel.
Absolutely. Yeah. We don't want anybody spending money and not getting that return, which is why we try to, kind of explain the whole process so you can see from cradle to grave where we begin and how we kind of start diagnosing these problems. So if you're frustrated and you're not sure what the heck's going on, you know, maybe you can get some insight on what's going on, or maybe you kind of, know where to start. And you're figuring out what your problem is. And again, feel free to reach out to either of us. Thad is an expert in this as well. Thad's agency is freaking amazing. So if you guys are wondering what the heck you need to do or where you need to go, and you're driving traffic and not getting those sales, well, just reach out. We're
reach
here.
out. Yeah. Ping us on these. We're live in Facebook every Monday night. Jump in the chat, ask us questions live, ask questions in the group. Even when we're not live, we're always around. We love to help you guys, and it's just so important, because if you guys know what you're doing, then your clients benefit, everyone benefits. There's plenty of people out there for all of us to go and help. So the more we help, the better.
Absolutely, Thad. Well, I think we just about covered it. Thank you so much for another great podcast, Thad.
Rachel, it was awesome as always. And you guys out there in YouTube land, don't forget to like and subscribe. Smash that notification button so you always know when we post our latest podcast. Boom!
Oh, yeah.
Guys, have a great evening. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Bye.
There we go. Stop the live stream.
Whee! Gonna like it. I'm gonna heart it.
Hot. Let's see. I got to go back to the group. So, next week, I will have been moved out of my apartment.